up in the morning, grab my little black book. Yesterday can eat a dick, cause we lost by the hook. Can't win them all, so you never see me get shook. Today's a new day, the bookmaker's getting cooked. When I spot a dirty cake of 4 units getting played, always find the value, I would never be afraid. Scared money don't win, but I'm not going all in unless I see a bet I love, then I put my balls on a bookie's chin. Let it all soak in, doubling my bread, winning money with my friends. If you got the itch and you wanna go big, follow Sharpie bets and you gon' really fucking win. This is not financial advice, it's entertainment. But if I find the right price, believe I'm parlaying it. You can see my spreadsheet, I'm winning, not just saying it. Profit in the green every week, I'm never negative. I can bet an ace or a shitty old picture. Pick the right spots cause I'm the K-Prop whisperer. Shut up when I speak until you finally get the picture. I'm the best in the world, tell me you getting richer. Fuck the bookies, fuck the bookies. FTB screaming fuck the bookies, 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 fuck the bookies. FTB screaming fuck the bookies, fuck the bookies, fuck the bookies. Middle finger in the air screaming fuck the bookies.
Let's get to the motherfucking monies.
Let's get to the motherfucking monies. Welcome to the best MLB prop show on God's green earth. It's Friday, and per the norm around these parts, we have my guy Spin Doc joining me to talk the next best thing to God himself, and that's pitching props. Spin Doc, how you been, my guy?
It's been good, man. It's been a good week. It's we're starting to get into the time now of the MLB season where stats have baselined. Things are that people have seen enough pitches, enough stuff from everybody to kind of set some baselines, so you can find a lot more value when the lines were kind of bouncing around. So coming off of a sweep last night and ready for more. So let's go, man. We for everybody that's tuned in, you remember how we did last Friday. So here we go, man. Repeat performance.
Man, I am not coming off of a sweep, but I haven't had a losing day since Sunday. My only loss was the fucking little hiccup baby ladder, baby bet on that fucker to get 7, and he should have. He had every opportunity, swallowing snack. But Lodolo came through for your boy at plus 140. I was like, bro, he's getting this or he ain't. And I had to get him at 4 live, bro. I was scared to even bet the 4. I was like, fuck me, bro. 20 pitches, 0 strikeouts, then strikes out the next 4. And that's baseball, but that's why you got to look at matchups, and that's why we look at matchups. If you're new to this channel, please hit the subscribe. If you haven't hit the like button already, please hit the like button. First guy on the board is going to be Aaron Nola at the Guardians. 5.5 minus 118 on FanDuel was the morning line. It's now minus 115, pitching out 17.5 minus 195 to the over. Earn runs 2.5 minus 145 juice to the under. Projected lineup is the Cleveland lineup, 8 lefties and 1 righty. Now today is not the bestest of bestest cards, guys, and Spin gives me the freaking opportunity to talk the guys that I want to talk first. So he ends up talking a few other guys that I haven't bet all year. Yes, I bet Nola some last year, but Nola I have not bet this year, and he's going to talk Nola. So go ahead, my guy.
All right, let's talk Aaron Nola. So you had mentioned it already, just in a bevy of lefties here facing this man. And this year so far, there is a K disparity from lefty to righty. Usually it's the Nola has one, but it's a little bit less. This year, 23-7 to lefties, 28-9 to righties. So that would make you think about an under right off the bat, especially when you got Steven Kwan leading off, who is a dead spot no matter pretty much against whoever he's against. With Nola being in the zone about 47.3% of the time, he does generate a good amount of chase. So then I look across this lineup, and I do see with the projected, there are 5 guys who chase above league average. That being Kwan, Sheenman, Santana, Manzardo, and Jones. Now, taking them in kind of in order here, I talked about Kwan being a dead spot. It doesn't really make a difference if he chases. He's elite. He'll be tough to get. Schneemann can definitely be gotten. Chase contact of 54.1%, even a zone contact of 74.1, which pairs up well with Nola 81.7, which is under pitcher average. So I can easily see him striking out. I can also see Manzardo striking out because of him. He doesn't chase. However, he does have very, very poor zone or chase contact and under league average zone contact. Arias, I can easily see Kang because he chases way above league average and then doesn't make contact when he does. In fact, I'm not even 100% convinced that he's going to be in the lineup today. Against a guy like Nola with that knuckle curve and with the, I think it's like 34, 35% chase that he's generating, I even though he's, I don't know if I would make him one of the few righties that I throw in there. But Roto has him in for now, so we'll go with him. Then the other one that I can see Nola potentially getting is Jones. While he's a lefty, he doesn't chase. He does have some. He's got really, really poor zone contact and is striking out to righties 32.5% of the time. So those are the ones that I have that don't chase. For you also have Naylor, who chases but does make decent contact. Martinez is supposed to be in the 9-hole, chases, makes decent contact. So what I get through all of that is I come up with 5.5, which is what the line is, of course. I come up with 5.5 to 5.75. So I think this line is set pretty well correct here. This could be one where the catcher for the Phillies, assuming it's who Nola normally has, and or the umpire could make a difference. What I'd be more inclined to do, because I can't do anything with this without seeing a lineup, because if Arias and if Jones, if neither one of them are in and we get some higher contact guys or guys that can make higher chase contact, then I might actually be interested in an under. But just because it's Cleveland, don't automatically assume that this is going to be an under spot. Reason being is, as I said, you do have half the lineup that does chase. And when you chase against this guy, that knuckle curve can kill you. Nola does not have a dominating fastball. That's for his teammate Wheeler and for Luzardo with the high velo fastballs. But when he does have his fastball working in the 92 to 94 range, then setting you up for that knuckle curve, which is his most off-thrown pitch, you can get a lot of chase guys to whiff. And as I said, with half the lineup being chase here, this is not an automatic under spot just because it's the Guardians. This line is set pretty well correct. But I really need to see lineup construction. I also need to see, I just want to see who the umpire is. Because if there's a few of these guys who don't chase and who don't swing like Manzardo, who I might take down from a 1 for a strikeout to maybe 0.75, maybe even a half with the right umpire. Now, it's going to have to be a pretty hitter-friendly umpire. Likewise, on the other side, if you got Manzardo and Jones can actually strike out multiple times with a pitcher-friendly umpire. So those things are going to matter for this one. So I think the line is set exactly as it should be for the time being. And I just, the only thing I would say is normally you think the Guardians at home, and you automatically think, okay, well, they're a low strikeout team for the under. They have very low strikeout guys like Ramirez, like Kwan, like Santana, but they also have a bunch of guys in this lineup that can chase and can be got, because you have Schneemann, Manzardo, and Jones. All of them are 28% or more to right-handed pitchers, and all of them have chase contact where it's at a level where you think Nola can definitely get them. So that's kind of a long-winded way of saying I think this line is right the way it is, and things like catcher and umpire and lineup construction are really going to matter in this one. But don't just look at don't Guardians and just automatically assume under.
Yeah, I hear that one, man. I hear that one. Just a guy I ain't bet, but I know you've bet him, I think, twice this year, maybe 3 times, but
Yep.
you've hit it every time. So Nola's been good to you. I know that much. Another guy who's been good to us, and we learned us a lesson last week, is Tarek Skubal, and he gets himself the Rangers. Morning line 7+ -138 on FanDuel. It's now -148. Pitching out 17.5 -210 to the over, whereas earn runs 1.5 -145 to the under. Projected lineup is 7 righties and 2 lefties. Now, Skubal gets the Rangers after being pushed back due to the doubleheader in Colorado, and they sent his ass home 2 days ago so that he can sleep in his own bed and get ready for today. Well, he gets the Rangers, where over the last 200 plate appearances versus lefties are walking below league average, striking out 25% of the time with a bottom 3 ISO. Now, one thing I picked up on last week versus the Angels is this man is on a pitch count or innings count. Yanked it 73 pitches after 6 innings. And not one time this year has Skubal gone past 93 pitches, with everything usually ending at 91 or under, guys. So you've got to think he's at 6 or 90 pitches at best, and you've got to take that into your cap. Now, when I go back and look at who the Rangers have seen, they've only seen one person that I would bet on, and that was Robbie Ray, and he went out there and had 7 innings, 8 strikeouts, but I used Chase for that guy. Skubal has been more zone contact, and if you just follow the metric this year, you are 5-2, be it under or over. So let's just go see what they have in this lineup. And we've got 6 of the 9 that are better than league average at zone contact. Now, another thing I'd like to take in, guys, with zone contact guys is zone swing percentage. And yeah, we've got another 5. Oh no, we got, what is that? I believe 7 of the 9 swing in the zone and make contact. It's nuts. And I believe it was 5 who both make good zone contact and swing at pitches in the zone. Everything is telling me under. It's actually 2/3 to the under both ways, whatever you want to look at, be it zone swing percentage, zone contact. But I'm not stepping in the way of a freaking under with Skubal. But if you've been betting the metrics alone, you are 5-2, and all the metrics say under right here. And as an over better, I'm just going to leave it be. But anything else on Skubal?
No, you took the words right out of my mouth, man. The Rangers all year and over the last 2 weeks have been one of the freest swinging teams in baseball. Both zone and chase swing rate are over, which normally would lead you to think an under for a guy that can make people whiff like Skubal. The problem is exactly what you mentioned, is that damn near the whole projected lineup has contact in the zone, which is where Skubal operates way above league average. In fact, some of them are close to around like the high 80s to low 90s for that zone contact percentage. The pitch count's very worrisome. And then, as you said, you know, I do have teams that I have put on no under island, as I call it, which means that I don't care who they're going against. I don't care what the situation. I don't care if it's a fucking Dominican little league pitcher. I won't take an under against them because they're so god awful bad. The Rockies are a perfect example of that. The Angels would be another. Now, I do also have, in almost every case, I have specific cases where I don't take unders on pitchers. And Tarek Skubal at home is one where I will not take an under. I don't care. Even if most of the metrics, like you said, say, yeah, this might go under and this one might be a trap, the man is too good. And the man can make too many people whiff in the zone. And it doesn't, you know, zone contact aside, is that the Rangers on the regular ain't seeing many guys that can get that can run it up to 100 going up the ladder and then can hit him with that, like, what is, like 87 or 88, whatever the hell it is, with his changeup. They haven't seen a lot of guys that can do that. So this, to me, Skubal is just a complete and total pass. I honestly want nothing to do with it, just because I also look at this projected lineup for the Rangers, and in 55 plate appearances, he's only got them 10 times. That's an 18.2% K percentage. Now, a few of them don't have a lot of plate appearances for me to say, okay, that's enough. But 55 is starting to get up there to enough where I'm like, okay, maybe there is something here. So for a guy that spends almost 60% of the time in the zone with the K percentage, in no way, like you said, Sharpie, in no way am I going to stand in front of this train at home. There are just a ton of things that scream under here, and I'm not getting in front of the Skubal train at home. So it's, as we say, we throw it out on the dock. Out.
Well, we could throw out the K prop, as that's what but I'm probably still going to be looking at a team total under. Like I said, they are a bottom 2-3 team right now, hitting the ball versus lefties, and now they get fucking Tarek fucking Skubal. Another thing I'm going to go look at before I bet the team total under is Skubal on extra rest. Just want to see if he performs like the dog he normally does, or does that throw him off? Something you got to pay attention to when they do get extra rest. Or short rest, which we'll talk about later on.
Yes, we will.
Bro, that shit, bro. I love listening to the radio because you learn a lot. Do me a favor, guys. If you like what you're hearing, smash the like button. If you're new to this channel, please hit the subscribe button as well. Max Meyer at the White Sox morning line, 5.5 minus 135 on DraftKings. It's now minus 120 on FanDuel. Pitching out 17.5 minus 135 to the over. Earn runs 1.5 minus 160 to the over. Projected lineup is 5 righties, 4 lefties. And this is going to be one of the rare occurrences in the show where we disagree. So we talked right before the show. You're like, bro, I'm thinking under. I was like, oh, fuck me. Go ahead. Let's talk Max Meyer.
Well, it's not so much that I'm thinking under, is I'm just thinking that there's some significant impediments potentially to the over. Now, taking an under on the White Sox is always one where I would have to really take a big gulp if I wanted to take that leap. But so first of all, you got to understand with me and with Max Meyer is I love this kid because he is from literally the city that I am broadcasting to you from right now, and that would be in Woodbury, Minnesota. So he's a local kid. He people that know his family. So I want to see this kid absolutely torch everybody that he plays. I want to see him be an all-star. I want to see him win a Cy Young. Minnesota boy who I love. Now that said, the thing with Max Meyer is the slider. Throws it 37.4% of the time, equally to righties and lefties. It comes in at a good amount under his four-seam fastball. His four-seam average is 95. He can run it up 96, 97, sometimes even 98. But that slider comes in right around 90, and it's got over 2,600 RPMs of spin, which is a very, very good amount. And the vertical drop on it is about 3.8 inches above comparable or pitcher average. So it just kind of dies when you're looking at it on a clock. For those of you that watch my show, you know I talk about the clock a lot. When he runs the four-seamer and the changeup up here, and then that slider just dips down and away almost 7 miles an hour under at that angle, it makes it so hard to hit. So that is a lead-in to what I'm about to tell you, where looking at this projected White Sox lineup, because Mayer does generate a 46% whiff rate on that slider, which is his most off-thrown pitch. But my problem with this is when I go up and down the White Sox lineup, I see 3 guys, and really only 2.5 if you count Baldwin, because Baldwin's right at just above league average. But I see 2 guys who have a whiff rate to the slider worse than what league average is. And this White Sox team, for as bad as they are, has seen the slider well. They've also faced a few guys that do have a pretty decent slider throughout the year. So the 2 guys being Palacios and Robert. So Palacios and Robert, both of them coincidentally have strikeout percentages to right-handed pitchers over 33%. So he's going to get both of them. I even put between the 2 of them, you got about a 1.5. Then I go and look and I see that with the slider, so you take the slider off, and you get the four-seam fastball as a second pitch. Mayer spends 51.7% of his time in the zone. And I go and I look and I see that Robert and Palacios are 2 guys that have problems with zone contact. So I already got them for 1.5 combined. Then I go to the rest of the lineup, and it's a little trickier because I have Meadroth with elite zone contact. I have Caro with elite zone contact. I have Vaughn with elite zone contact. I have Sosa with solid zone contact. Rojas is above league average. So all of those guys I just mentioned all have a 31, I think, percent whiff rate or less to the slider. So I'm going up and down this lineup, and I'm coming up with 4 for sure. I'm coming up with, I can probably get to 5. And that's even with getting Robert and Palacios at about a 1.5 clip. I got Baldwin for 1. So now you're at 3.5. Then it gets tricky. And that's where I went up and down this lineup like 4 times. And I was trying to find, looking at zone contact, who I can get for another one. The other thing is, only 2 of the projected 9 have chase contact under league average, and that being Robert and Palacios. Both of those 2. There are 2 that are at average, Rojas and Baldwin. The other 5, I should say, pretty elite. Midroth Vargas, Kiro, Vaughn, and Sosa, all 61% or above. So this was one where I will be totally honest. I thought over going in. I always try to think, I usually think over going in with the White Sox because the White Sox are absolute dog shit. But I started trying to frame it. I'm like, I'm trying to find a way to get to 6. And based on the way the numbers are, I couldn't come up with many. So that's where I'm at.
All right. Well, Meyer gets the Mayer. His name's obviously Mayer. Gets the White Sox over the last 15 days. They're walking tops in the league, striking out 23% of the time with a bottom 4 isolated power. And this guy has been a dude I had to add to the book later on in the season, guys, as you talked about his slider. The next best slider in baseball, which is actually better than his by whiff percentage, is Hunter Green. Like, this dude added 2 miles per hour to his slider and didn't lose any movement, or it's just nastier than it ever was. So I've been using zone contact as the key with Chase as the bonus. As like you said, this man lives in the zone, but you didn't mention his chase contact is on another stratosphere, bro. Like, his is some of the best I've ever seen. So even if your chase contact's good, I'm not willing to put it away yet. So when I run this lineup, guys, I have 5 of the 9 that are league average or worse at zone contact, yet 5 of the 9 that do not chase. And when I look at all the lineups he has seen this year, there's only one time he's seen these same metrics, and that was the Reds. He put up 14 that day. Now, that was at home, and he does have a home road split, guys. He's striking people out like 35% at home, 29% on the road, still elite on the road. Not enough to be worried about. So when I run this whiff, like you said, I come up with 0 people striking with zeros. I have 6 people with a half. So it's like, can he get them? Yes. Can he not? Yes. Yeah. That's the question, is if he gets them, this dude has a 10, 11 in his day today. But I don't know. I come up with 6.5 with a bunch of halves. I have nobody not striking out. Like you said, Palacios and Roberts, they can both chip in 2 each if they want, but realistically 3 at best. Baldwin's chipping in 4. And then I look through the stuff, and it's like, if he stays in the zone with his fastball or slider, he can get some of these guys. I mean, I don't know. I'm leaning on the over, but I'm probably going to take the plus money if I do take it. Not all the time are we against each other if we do bet, but I got to pay attention. The other day, I don't know if you bet, Ray, but I sure as fuck tried to talk you off because I bet him over, and you would have hit, but life's a pitch, and you marry one. He had every opportunity to get
right though. But I would argue, so this was a private conversation that we had. We talked for a long time about Robbie Ray and went back and forth, and we came to the conclusion that it's a 50-50 shot. It's going to be either 5 or it's going to be 6. And the reason why I threw it out was because the under was juiced. And it just, if you know anything about statistics, is that if you're playing a 50-50 shot juiced, yes, you can get lucky and win, but in the long run, that is negative EV, because the side you want to be on 50-50 shots, if that's the way that it calculates, is you want to be on the plus money side. And that's where, the poker analogy that I used from back during my playing days was what was that not necessarily playing what was the result, did I win the hand, but from an EV perspective, did I play it correctly? And I think that you were correct to play it, and I was correct to just stay off of it because it was a 50-50 shot. So and
it came down to exactly the pass history. That's what I was like, bro, can he get the pass history? No, he couldn't. No. And
no
Swanson, no Tucker, no any birdie, nobody he struck out in the past.
There's a phrase that we always used in poker is don't play results poker. And it's also where in poker forums I used to post on and used to share hands and whatever, is that sharing results were banned. And the reason why sharing results were banned was because the question wasn't, did you win or not? The question was, based on the math, the numbers, the situation, the whatever, did you play it correctly? And I believe that, Sharpie, that you were correct for playing the over. I was correct for leaving it alone because it was a 50-50 shot. I was looking at the under, but if you're playing a 50, I think there's something that has 50% chance of hitting, and you need to win at 52.4, which is the minus 110 usual win percentage. At 52.4, you do that over and over and over again, and you are a losing player. On the other side, you play 50-50 shots that are plus 105, which only need to win about 49.6 or whatever it is.
125 on that best.
Well, at any plus money, in the long run, you are a winning player by either throwing it out on the juice side or by playing the plus money side. It's just, don't play results poker is my TED talk for the day. Don't play results. And like I said, a lot of times when I go back and look, I actually, after I throw something out, I go back and I actually take the lean that I have, because what I do is on my little spreadsheet I work on, I have my leans and why. And then what I do after I get my plays out for the day is I take the leans completely off of it. I forget about it. And then the next day I'll go back and look and I'll say, okay, based on the numbers, based on where it was lined, whatever, what would I have done? Was it correct? That sort of review, not did it win or not. And when you start thinking about it that way, I can promise you, you'll win a lot more.
Dying on this wax over here. Speaking of line properly, we know what to do, or at least way to look when the books line shit this way. Hunter Brown versus the Reds, morning line 7+ minus 145 on DraftKings, 8+ plus 116 on FanDuel. Still the same, pitching out 17.5 minus 205 to the over. Earn runs 1.5 minus 130 to the over. Projected lineup is 5 righties and 4 lefties. Brown gets the Reds guys who over the last 15 days are walking above league average, striking out 22% of the time with a bottom 10 isolated power. And Brown has been a machine this year, getting 7 or more strikeouts in 5 of his 7 games. And when we look at his metrics, we see through the past season and see some change, guys, but his changed contact is actually worse than league average this year. It was last year too. But I'm going to tell you that it's not as bad as it looks. In his 7 games this year, he's faced the Royals, Blue Jays, Mets, and Cardinals, who in that order are the best 4 teams in chase contact. And versus those teams, he's 3-1 to the over. As this man hasn't had a lineup that favored him 2/3 of the over when it's come to chase contact. So I also started to look at chase, as that was a reoccurring theme in these lineups where the chase contact wasn't there. And when the chase was there, it was like, okay. So I look at chase contact as the key. The chase is going to be the bonus, guys. And this is a holy shit spot on Hunter Brown tonight. And FanDuel's exactly showing it why. I've got him for 7.75 to 12, depending on how it goes today. He is a ground ball pitcher at home, which is going to project him to be out there 6+ innings because he's going to get the double plays when needed. And it's just let the lineups come out. And do I take him down to 7 in the team total under? Do I just bet him straight up at the 7 and the 8? Because this is a monster day for him. And it's hard to take in the curveball, guys, because they do not give you a knuckle curve when you look at StatCast. You can look at the curveball, base it off of that. Now, what I like to say is, who else throws that fucking pitch? I'll tell you, Jack Flaherty and Aaron Nola off the top of my head use the knuckle curve, and that's a dominant pitch for them, like Hunter Brown's. Well, Jack Flaherty, if you look, has only struck out 2 of 11 at bats, but we'll tell you that wasn't new Jack. Jack Flaherty has been a different guy since last year, and he has not seen them since last year. So those numbers you can't even look at. Aaron Nola, on the other hand, in 30 at-bats versus these Reds, has a 28% strikeout clip. Hunter Brown is better than Aaron Nola at this point of his career and at this point of their career. So knuckle curve is a bigger problem than a curveball, where it shows Lux has struck out 3 of his 8 at-bats to the knuckle curve to Nola. It shows by the metrics he don't struggle versus a curveball. You're not going to see that shit unless you dig a little deeper. So I've got Brown for having a monster day. When you look at this lineup, it was 7 of the 9 projected or league average or worth of chase contact. This man hasn't had 6 of the 9 this year. This is a freaking gift being put into my lap. Hunter Brown, just show the fuck up tonight.
Well, the only thing I can add to that is, so looking at their projected right now, and oh, by the way, please let this be the projected, and please, I mean, it probably would be too much to ask to not have Espinal play tonight, but please bat him in the 9 hole. Please bat him way down in the lineup, because of those other 8, I was trying to come up with one that it would be tough for Brown to strike out, and I couldn't find one. I can't find one. I have Lux probably as a half, as a 50-50 shot. And then I have every single other one of them. Not only can he get, but half of those guys he could get multiple times. The only dead spot in this projected lineup is Espinal. And if they're going to put him in the 9 hole, oh my. You said you had him for 7.75. I have him for 8. So, I mean, we're totally aligned there. All I'm just waiting for is a lineup. What would be really neat is like, just give us Bill Miller one time, or like, just give us one of those.
Make them chase, and oh Lord.
Give me Doug Eddings one time. Give me Alex McKay one time. Those are my 3 favorites. Just give me one of those. And for me, this would be climbing the ladder, I possibly even just a sprinkle on as high as they'd let me go. And I'm not, and I'm being totally serious.
Well, we're going to talk about a guy that I can't be too serious about, because this man has fucked me and my family more often than Blake Snell has tried to fuck yours.
Oh yeah.
Kevin Gausman at the Mariners. Morning line 5.5, -140 on MGM. It's now -170 on FanDuel. Pitching out 17.5, -145 to the over. Earn runs -130 to the under 2.5. Projected lineup is 5 lefties and 4 righties. Well, there's not much for me to say here. This is one of them guys that just likes to take money from me and my family. So I've got nothing nice to say about this man. I'm going to wait for the day to pound the fucking under like I did last year, and just waited and waited. And when it came, I said, I'll fucking take a 3.5. They gave me a 5.5. He didn't fucking come close. Otherwise, I'm not looking to bet unders with the Mariners. So go ahead, Kevin Gausman.
Under's out of the question. They're on no under island. They're still on there. It's over or nothing. So this was one where I'll be totally honest. I had originally put the other side of this matchup, Castillo, in this spot to talk about. But the more I started digging on both guys, the more that I found that I liked about Kevin Gausman. And so he has not jaded me like he has jaded Sharpie. I am plus money, or in the black, betting him by a little over the course of the last few years. My guy who is like that, who invokes those feelings, is Carlos Rodon, but I don't have to talk shit about him today. So Kevin Gausman with the Mariners. So a couple things. Number one for Gausman is a big key for him is always his 4-seam fastball. Is that what is the velo for it doing? Because it can be a potential out pitch for him when he has his velo in the right spot. Now, when he doesn't, when he's down in the 92 or 93 range, it is an average fastball and generates almost no whiff. And he's then reduced to forcing guys to chase at either his splitter or his slider, because he's only in the zone 50.9% of the time. And most of that is his 4-seam fastball. The splitter almost never goes in the zone, and his slider is about 50-50. So if he doesn't have his fastball working, then it's really hard for him to get a whole bunch of strikeouts, especially for teams that don't chase. Now, when you look at his velo over his last few starts, velo is up. In fact, last start against the Guardians, it was up by, I believe, almost a full mile an hour. His slider velo was up. His velo is up. So he's in that 95 range. Now, And actually, if you look at his past few starts, it's been up or holding steady in most of those starts. So I'm going to assume, please God help me, that continues tonight out in Seattle. So I look at the Mariners' projected lineup, and I look at some of these whiff rates to four-seam fastballs, which league average is usually about 23 to 25%. And good God, Rodriguez 35, Rosarina 31.6, Moore 35.8, Williamson 32.6, Taveras 32.5. You have over half the lineup which has a gaudy whiff rate to a force, just a regular four-seam fastball, not even like one that Gausman can run up to the 95, 96 range. Then I go and I look and I see who has the potential to chase with this splitter. Rodriguez chases a ton, Raleigh chases a ton, Williamson chases a ton, Taveras chases a ton. And of those guys, Rodriguez and Raleigh both have gaudy whiff rates to the splitter. Then I go to the slider, which again, 50-50 from a in the zone perspective. And I see a bunch of whiff rates just as bad, especially in the 3 through 6. So Rodriguez, Raleigh, Rosarina, Tellez, all of them have absurdly bad whiff rates to the slider. And of those guys, 6 of the 9 do have below league average whiff rates contact rates in the zone. And of the 6 that do, it's not like, because league average right now is 82.6 as of like this morning. It's not like we're at like 82.4 or like 81.8. Like if it's in that range, I don't really count. I count it as being close to average. Oh, no. Every single one of these fucking guys is under 80, and 3 of them are under 75. So that is an opportunity where if that four-seam fastball is working, Rodriguez is very gettable. Raleigh is easily gettable, especially when you look at past history, because both of those guys have a 36% strikeout percentage in double-digit plate appearances or worse against this man. You also have Rowdy Tellez, who has a 35% whiff rate against or strikeout rate against right-handed pitchers and has whiffed or strikeout 3 out of 5 times. Taveras at the end of the lineup, Sharpie and I have joked about him the last few days that he is just a bum at this stage. He has struck out 4 in 10 times.
Could he have gone to any of a better team though?
It certainly matches his profile. There are 7 to 8 strikeouts to be had across this lineup. The only 2 that are going to be tough are up top with Crawford and Polanco. Those are the only 2 across this entire lineup. I don't even though he's got good contact metrics, I don't even count the kid Williamson as a dead spot, just because 1, hasn't seen Gausman before, 2, hasn't seen many splitters before, major league splitters before, and 3, does have a nearly 30% strikeout rate to right-handed pitchers. So just because his contact metrics are up there, I don't necessarily count him as a dead spot. So this for me, first of all, I'm not looking to pay minus 186 or whatever the stupid ass juice is right now. If I'm taking Gausman, it's going to be above that. I'm not really looking to bet 6+. I'm looking to go 7 or more, and it's going to depend on the lineup. And I also would love to see a pitcher-friendly umpire for this one, because we do have a Rosarina and Williamson, both of whom take pitches in the zone. And if it's a really pitcher-friendly umpire, even Crawford, his swing rate in the zone is just slightly under league average. So he's high contact, but Gausman has got him 5 times. That would possibly even up my grade for him from 0.25 or 0 basically to maybe a half. So there's strikeouts to be had across this lineup. It's going to depend for me, final decision, on what the lineup construction is. I would not be shocked if this goes to a 6.5. But if you're going to play this, please don't do a straight bet of minus 187 or whatever that, like I said, just the stupid juice. If you're going to do it, just take it up and take the plus money.
If you got a legal book, this is a perfect spot. The live bet, like you said, Crawford's at the top. He's probably not striking out. You're going to get a better juice number, and you're going to get to see if his velo's there. You know, two questions you can knock out on one batter. Sit there and watch it. Watch StatCast, make sure his velo's there, and then get in. Another thing about Gausman is his splitter is a pitch he doesn't throw on his side sessions. So sometimes it's not there. until the second, third, or fourth inning. If the split is there in the first, good fucking luck for them. And Sai Seguno goes versus the Angels today.
Oh yeah. after torching the Yankees.
He's gonna do it again. I mean, I bet Gosman versus the Yankees, and he fucked me for the last time. And Sai Seguno goes out there and does what I thought Gosman should do. And now Sai Seguno, I know his name's not Sai Seguno, guys, but fuck, he's Cy Young, the Yankees.
What he looked like against in his last start.
He gets the worst chase contact team in baseball, so that fucker might have a day. Did you see them bench Renfigo last night?
Oh yeah.
I saw that lineup and I was on a live stream. I was like, I don't bet Bassett, but the chase contact is terrible.
Yep.
He had 5 through like 3, but he was still getting the shit kicked out of him.
Yep.
But yeah, definitely. If you bet it, bro, I'll secretly bet it and not give it out, and he'll win. If I give it out, he'll fuck me and my family. All right. Another guy, guys, that I cannot bet today, and if you're going to bet him, I'm going to give you a couple warnings, and I would have gave this to my people yesterday if I would have paid attention a little more, but Roki Sasaki at the Diamondbacks. Morning line, 3.5, -144 on FanDuel. It's now -146. Pitching outs are not available. Earn runs, 2.5 at a pick'em. Projected lineup is 6 lefties and 3 righties. Now, Roki gets the Diamondbacks, who over the last 15 days versus right-handed pitching are walking above league average, striking out 23% of the time with a top 5 isolated power. And at first thought, I was like, to chasing this lineup, man, I'm going to fucking bet Roki. I thought this like 2 days ago. I was like, ooh, I'm going to bet Roki. But then me and Spin Doc both knew to take Singa under 4.5. He probably did a little deeper dive into the metrics part than me. I just followed the books right there. I'd been doing this too long to know when a book fucks with a back-to-back, you just listen to them. But then they got Yamamoto the next day. He bet him under yesterday, and he didn't come close, guys. It's another pitcher. Yes, different forkball and a split, but still at the end of the day, the same freaking philosophy. If it's high, let it fly. If it's low, you let it go. You don't swing it, nothing low, until he can prove he can throw it for a strike. So at the end of the day, guys, it doesn't fucking matter what I want to do. I cannot bet Roki today, no matter what. It is what it is. And I'll say it more than the next person, and that is pitchers are creatures of habit. Japanese ones even more. As Yoshi last night, for the first time this year, pitched on just 5 days rest. And this will be the first time in Roki's career he is asked to do this, as every game this year so far has been 6 days or more in between each game, and that's what he's used to in Japan. So, yes, it's an extra day's rest on an American schedule, yet it is still a day before he's used to ever pitching in his life. So, even if you want to bet Roki, I'm going to tell you this. If you're not going to listen to that, you can still get strikeouts and get your ass kicked. I get that. That can happen. Roki just got his ass kicked. I'm not Roki. Yoshi just got his ass kicked and didn't get strikeouts. Yep. But at the end of the day, Barnes has to be catching if you want to take this man's over. The 2 games that Barnes has caught, he has a 10% walk percentage. He has an 18.5% with Will Smith catching him. I don't understand why they went back to Will Smith after all the reports, all the talk on the radio that I listened to, the games, has talked about all the side sessions that Barnes has put in with Roki, how it's paid off, yet the last 2 games they go back to Smith. Now, if you want to bet the over, look for Barnes as his catcher. That's going to be the guy that can at least keep him somewhat focused. But at the end of the day, you're not seeing me bet on a guy pitching on 5 days rest for the first time in his career. Anything else on him?
The only thing I can add to that is that the Diamondbacks for the year do have a very, very significant home road disparity when it comes to strikeouts against right-handed. Actually, it's strikeouts period, but against righties at home, they are about 16.3%. On the road, they're closer to 24. So at home against righties, they have been absolutely elite this year at not striking out. And the fact that they just got Senga, who torched them at home or out in New York and couldn't even get to 5. And then they got Yoshi only got 4 last night. We actually cashed, VIP, we cashed both those unders. So if you're playing this one, the only way to look at it would be at an under. And the only way that I would do it is if it would be plus money as well, because under 3.5s that are juiced to me have no value at all, because you also think about the course of a start. Unless it's like some weird situation where he's only projected to pitch like 2 innings or 3 innings, like assuming a regular start, assuming 5 innings, juiced under 3.5 to me has no value, because a pitcher can get 1, possibly even sometimes 2, just by happenstance. If it's a swing and steal, if it's something where like
it could be a pitch outside in the fucking
yeah, or even where he's just instructed by the hitting coach to swing at the next pitch because they're going to do a hit and run, or 2 outs and they're running, whatever the case might be. Pitchers can get 1 to 2 strikeouts just by the overall flow of the game. So you're leaving yourself with absolutely no cushion there. It's also the same reason why I never play a 2.5, no matter what it is. Ever.
Man, speaking of 2.5s, not strikeouts, but team totals, that shit's been good to me. Betting fucking Scooble's team total under 2.5. And I might just 3.5 parlay that bitch. Find something else I'd love today. Take Hunter Brown down to 6 and just be like, all right, Jesus. But yeah, I appreciate you guys all for tuning in today. Smash the like button if you haven't. If you're new to this channel, hit the subscribe as well. It's not the best card today, but we definitely both agree on smashing Hunter Brown if they give us this lineup. I'm going to have to do a little more digging on Max Mayer. If I do bet him, it's going to be a half unit, and I'm not going to put too much money on something. Now, it's also a good live betting spot, too, where, fuck, if he gets any of these freaking halves, bro, before he gets to Roberts, or just say through 2 innings, if he gets Meredith, Cuero, Vaughn, or Vargas, bro, oh, Lord, I'll pay the 6.5.
Yep.
It's like some things are worth paying the extra strikeout for. Yeah, there's a lot of question marks, but
yeah, I don't necessarily. I'm probably not going to look at a Mayer under. For me, it's probably just going to be a pass.
Another thing too I looked at with that is sliders and sweepers have been the death to this team, bro. Yep. Hunter Brown the other day, slider. Gavin Williams, fucking Walker Buehler, sweeper. It's just like, bro, he throws both of these and a knuckle curve. Oh, no, different guy. Got stoned. Myers only throws the slider pretty much. Change up fastball slider. But yeah, I was stoned right there. But yeah. Fuck. I think Myers either goes ape shit or doesn't. And I don't know. I just got to relook at some stuff some more. Life's a bitch and you marry one. Yeah. Appreciate you all for tuning in. Spin Doc, let them know what you got going on, where they can find you. I know you've been doing a daily show.
Yeah. At Spin Doc Sports on X. And then, yeah, the Spin Zone is a daily show that I do, which is actually now I'm probably actually just going to make it 5 days a week, because I don't like to be repetitive, and because I know a lot of the same people that watch me watch you. And like, the more I thought about it, I'm like, well, we're talking about the same guys that I would talk about anyway, and I'd say the same stuff. And I don't like to be repetitive. So we're probably going to go to Monday through Thursday and Saturday are the days at 10 a.m. Eastern on X. Just tune in right there, and daily breakdown of 3 pitchers and whatever else you want to talk about for baseball.
Yeah, I want to talk about getting us some of them cheerleaders on top of the dugout. But until next time, everybody, let's just have a good day. Tomorrow looks a lot better. You hit me up yesterday like, hey, tomorrow's like, fuck tomorrow. I want Saturday, bro. I want Dragons versus Boston, bro. Like, come on now. Yep. There's some money out there on my birthday. So smash the like if you haven't. Until next time, we're out this.